Welcome back. It's the first of Friday night. Baguma Tinkasimiro Richard, your host tonight, standing in for Peter Chibazo, who is away in South Africa. Full panel. Charles Romshana Gawate Guru Wagarukayon Wavine and Pool Call. David, the man from Karamoja. Dear viewers, you're welcome to call in and join in the show. We've been talking quite about a bit of the issues in the country. The numbers are displayed on your screen. You can join us and briefly. Charles Rumshana, you told the road mayor to put on yellow socks, and he would be allowed. Has he put on yellow socks?
Yes, you see, it still comes from the other lack of legitimacy and fraud, political fraud. In essence, military takeover really. That what do you do?
Hello? I think we have somebody online. Hello? Oh, you can call in again. So you were saying he has put on yellow socks.
So what do you do with the dissent that was going to culminate into an uprising, legitimate uprising?
Hello?
Because
yes, we can hear you, your name and where you're calling from. Can you please speak up? Paul. Paul, we can hear you. Please speak up and go ahead. Oh, Paul has just gone away. You can join us. The numbers are on your screen, and we'll be glad to hear your contribution. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please tell us your name, where you're calling from, and go ahead with your comment. Oh, we have a challenge. But please, we are happy to have you come on board. We would like to hear your comments. Tell us where you're calling from, your name, and go ahead. We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm calling from Peru. I'm Mr. Lawrence.
Yes, Lawrence.
Yeah, what I would like to ask Mr. David to call was saying that the government is stealing funds from the Koromodong and giving to Peru. But by the time when they are constructing Kasese. Hello?
We can hear you, Lawrence. Go ahead with your question to Polkor.
What I was saying?
Yes.
David Polkor was saying that the government is stealing the funds from Koromodong and giving to Peru. I think Peru and Koromodong is standing there. And what is happening there is also creating jobs from Koromodong to Peru. It is not like when the government supports the stones from outside countries to Uganda and is paying taxes. Also, thirdly, the government of Obote constructed Kasese. If it was removing copper from Kasese to Guinea, the Guinea mining copper around Masese. Was it the marketing from Kasese to Guinea, or it was helping Uganda?
Thank you. Yes.
Another question to David Procol. Hello?
We can hear you, Lawrence. Please conclude with your question.
Then I want to ask David Procol again. What of you, we are hearing you people, we review you people over the TV and what have you. Politics, some of us were at school. When you are studying politics, it does not mean that it's supposed to be a war against your friends.
Thank you.
You can say because you either pay or 100 on you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lawrence. We get your point. Thank you very much, Lawrence, for calling in. We get your point, and David will get an opportunity to respond to you. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Please talk to us, and please raise your voice. Tell us where you're calling from and what's your name.
Yes, this is Paul calling from Sembabane.
Yes, Paul.
Yes, my point is, maybe I'm disappointed in the fact that the opposition takes the role. I don't know if it is fair to the side of the government if no one can make a statement against the defense. But maybe another point is, when I hear
Thank you, Paul. The people from government hopefully are hearing. Yeah. Hello? Hello? All right. We can, when you call, please don't wait to hear your voice. You turn down your volume and then you can go ahead. Hello? Oh, they always, you hear the feedback. They are always trying to
listen to themselves.
Yeah, to listen to themselves. You don't have to wait to listen to yourself. Just go ahead and talk to us. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Talk to us, your name and where you're calling from. Hello? We could hear you. Yeah, I told you it's a challenge to call in. I called the other time, I called 59 times, and I couldn't come through. Hello? Yes, please turn down the volume of your TV.
From Chazanga.
Yes, please. We can hear
I
you.
would like to know if those panelists, the 4 men who are on the panel. Hello?
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yes, if those people were given an opportunity to be ministers, would they have refused that offer? Thank you.
That is the question from Chazanga. I can answer you. I would have taken it.
I would not take
but
it.
I am not on the panel. But I can tell you that give me an opportunity to be minister, I will take it.
Do we look like we want to
Haro
be?
Kora.
Do you look that hungry?
Yes, we can hear you, your name and where you're calling from, and your comment. Yes, Lawrence from Kampala.
I'm wondering why you invite someone from the government side to kind of, take on the answers, give some answers from the overly seemingly opposition component of the team. But I wish that the gentlemen, even if they were claiming to be too much in the opposition, would be kind of fair and also recognize the positive aspects that have been put in place, Like many people have appreciated the Lord Mayor making an effort to work with the executive director. So I think we cannot, just point out only the negative signs, the negative aspects of the cabinet. I think it's too big and we all don't like it. But there are some positive aspects
Like,
so that, we the listeners can see the balanced judgment. Thank you so much.
We have, I think we have only two more opportunities for callers, and then we shall go to the responses. David, you will respond last, so you have an opportunity. Yes, talk to us.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear your name and where you're calling from and your comment.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Charles, calling from Kayunga.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't concur with Paul saying that this was a matter of bread. The cabinet is not all about bread. I think this time we credit President Museveni for turning back where we see that the government is right. This is the government of 1986, where we had a combination. I think even Foucault was part of it, somewhere there on the way. And I think the president is rethinking of having a government whereby he has a collective ideas from all the people from different parties. And I think he did not make a mistake of calling on people like Betty Kamya to be on board. He is just taking us where we think we could do best. And I credit him on that because many people have been saying, for example, in Kayunga, we have the issue of Ida. And many people have been saying about Ida Nankaba. And she's been a fighting woman on the side of the people. And we see now that much as they say all ill about her, but people decide were on her side. And the president saw it, and he elected her again on board. And all this say, even now when you look at all those people from UPC, from DP, from like Betty
Thank
And
you.
this is not a matter of race, but
We-
the country is being bringing people back on board
Thank
and
you.
everyone sharing a responsibility.
We get your point. Thank you. The last caller now, and David, a lot of these comments have been directed to you. You seem to be the most
Popular.
well, not popular, notorious, because
Of course, I'm not a government spokesperson.
they seem to be disagreeing with you. Our last caller for tonight. Yeah, you are not a government spokesperson. I don't think you ought to be.
No.
You have your
So let me
spokesperson.
respond now.
Last caller for tonight. Can you hear us? Yes, we can hear you. Just go ahead.
This is Simon from Wakito, right?
Yes.
Yeah, my comment is on the side of the cabinet. I think the cabinet that we have is just a cabinet that has been rewarded, but not a cabinet to perform in the interest of Uganda. So
Thank you, Simon. We really get your point. David, you have an opportunity. Let me start with Nwabine. Nwabine.
Yes.
The Kampala City Council, there have been comments about it, that, you know, the road mayor is now working with government, and then you can also make a few responses.
Thank you very much, Richard, and I want to thank the listeners that are out there who've managed to call in, and thank you for your comments. One general comment I can make about the phone calls is that you need to appreciate that all of us on the panel, at least speaking for myself, we are doing analysis of events and political events and other events. When you're doing an analysis, then you don't represent a political party position or a government position. I say things as I see them, as I feel them, as I, you know.
Which is fair, and they also do as they
I
see
perceive them.
Yeah.
So when I say the cabinet is a bread and butter cabinet, that's my opinion. Someone in Chazanga says the cabinet is a service delivery cabinet.
Yeah.
That's his opinion.
That's fair.
And fair enough. So to me, that should not worry.
And it's the first of, for me.
It's the first
so
of.
why should we have the
It's
same
the-
opinion?
it's the first
And
of.
your take on the Kampala
Now,
City Council
Kampala City
authority?
Council, I am happy with what's happening at the City Council. You know, when you are into leadership, and especially when you are in the shoes of my good friend and the year mate at university, the Lord Mayor, Elias Lukwago, and what he has been through the last 2 years or so, then you want some breather. You want a situation where you take charge of an authority and you are given room to do your thing the way you do it best. And that's why I was not among those insisting, for example, that the Lord Mayor, given the numerical strength of FDC, should appoint a deputy mayor who is FDC and that kind of thing. Let the Lord Mayor appoint a deputy Lord Mayor he thinks he can comfortably work with. So that now we focus our attention not on the squabbles and pull and pushes within the insider committees, but now we start looking at this team put together by the voters and also the leadership at KCCA and what they are able to deliver. Next time, assuming other factors are constant and we don't see another Frank Tumweba's the hijack of the Kampala Capital City Authority, then we should be able to say, Mr. Lord Mayor, account for your 5 years. You had all it takes, resources were passed, you put your own team in leadership. Now, can we see what's happening? And on a personal note, really, I would congratulate the Honorable Sarah Kanyike. I've known Sarah for quite some time. When I was still in the Ministry of Local Government, she was, I think, deputy mayor to Sebagara. She's been PA to Lukwago. She's old, mature, experienced, and I think I have the trust that she will make a good deputy mayor.
You were talking about the Eurosocks.
No, the editor again shifted.
They talk about
From
the
this
Eurosocks.
fraud, from this illegitimacy,
This one on the screen.
and then you are congratulating people who are partaking in looting,
That lady.
usurping people's power, usurping people's legitimacy.
But I
You see,
congratulated Betty as well, for example.
that's very unfortunate.
No, no, it's okay, Charles.
Now we have that caller who says, give credit where it's due. But the same caller says, Aida Nantaba has been on the side of the people. But finally the president has taken her up. So, okay, on the side of the people against who? Whom has she been fighting who isn't people? Mr. Museveni himself and Karangwa. This is the group that she's been fighting who threw her out of government, of the party, and she's now an independent. That's the group she's been fighting, and the population has been with her in that fight. So the same guy, the same person, the same Kora who says we should be applauding NRM is the same person who immediately sees the fault that the same NRM, the same NRA isn't people. We don't need to go into detail what they are doing in terms of land grabbing. Mr. David Purko, relax. Land grabbing is not limited to Karamoja. There, at least, they have some bit of shame. Elsewhere, it's a disaster. Now, one says NRM delivers. If it delivers, then it is popular. So why does it rig? Why do you have to rig in Chiruhura if you have been delivering in Chiruhura?
Okay.
Yes, why do you have to rig? And
so we need to give Porokora an opportunity to respond.
The center of gravity of resistance against this illegitimacy, against this fraud, is the urban center, Kampala, and Severonis, where NRA lost massively. These are terminals who should have helped in the uprise. But what you decided to do with the leaders, one, you incarcerate some, BCJ and the Nakawa, member of parliament. Then the others, you make deals with them. Andrew Kwabu is among those they have made deals with. And it's tragic. It's very unfortunate.
Purkor, there are a number of issues.
Let me respond
we quickly go through them.
Natural resources definitely belong to the whole country. There is no magic, there is no problem.
You tickled the Tororo guy wrongly to try and say they are foreigners.
Listen, resources coming out of Karamoja into Tororo. But at least, if that limestone for the last 12, 13 years has been shifted on huge tons lorries, not even on a railway, nothing. Not even taking a factory there to crush it into lime, into powder, and then you bring it to Tororo to be made into cement. At least you would create some jobs for people in Karamoja. In the case of, and then you bring light
Or
things.
put there manufactured from Karamoja.
Now, if you cannot even acknowledge the source, and even you bring it and then call it Tororo cement, well, Jama, why don't you even just acknowledge the contribution Karamoja is making, even if you don't want to take a factory there? So even just put as a footnote, you know, you are not even acknowledging. But anyway, in the case of Kasese, there was a whole developed mine with the hospital, with staff houses, with what, in terms of employment. It was mining. So you bring it only to Jinja for smelting. I'm saying do some processing on the ground. Create jobs for people on the ground. Thirdly, I was saying the problem, the problem about that is you don't even put a weighbridge to know how much tonnage of limestone, of marble, all these things that are being looted out of Karamoja, how much as Karamoja in terms of tons. You don't even put a weighbridge so that this trailer goes, that even to collect taxes.
So conclude this.
The guy
let me conclude.
The guy wants the definition.
Conclude this because we have to get out of
Let
studio.
me
say,
I would say that the looting is that neither does this benefit Tororo.
No.
If it was benefiting Tororo,
you are surrendering.
No, I'm saying UK, United Kingdom has 22 ministers, including the Prime Minister, 22. And there are over 64 million people.
We need to conclude.
In the USA, 15 ministers, including the Vice President. In Japan, 20 ministers, including the Prime Minister. China, which has 1 billion people, has only 25 ministers. Germany has 16 ministers, including the Chancellor herself. Now, when you come to Uganda, 81. You can imagine really the point I'm making, even from this research.
Thank you very much for the call. You've delivered that point. Teguri, as we conclude, your take on KCCA.
Number one, I think Mr. Erias Lukwago should settle down. Even if he's opposition, it is possible to work with the NRM, to work with the government, to develop the city. I think this time we want to see service delivery. I think he needs to mature, to sober up and say we may have different political shades, but we can work together. I think that is political maturity.
Why don't you tell it to Besigye?
We would like to see that happen this time around.
Thank you very much. The heckling, Charles Rumshana will continue heckling. We'll continue heckling off stage. Charles Rumshana, let's conclude the program. You can continue heckling with Charles Rumshana, Gawaya Tegure, Bagarukayo, David Brokol, and I'm Baguma Tinkasimir Richard. The technical team, thank you very much. And you, the viewers, you, the callers, who meet us, who tell us every day that you view us, thank you very much. Next Friday, we'll be here with you on the Face Off.
Let government